So let's keep on going with it. The one thing I want to know is we have this penta vertex here. So what I'm trying to figure out is how many lines do I have from this line to maybe that, and that goes to here, right? So if I were to say from the penta vertex, right, and all everything after this penta vertex towards the front of the show should be simple loops. Okay. Now how can I achieve that? I need to make sure that these guys connect to each other nicely. Okay. So that means I have to count. How many do I have? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. And maybe counting that one, 5. So 1, 2, 3. And then that one is actually underneath, as you can see, so I need to drag it out. 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let me recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that doesn't fit to each other nicely at all, right? So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 7. We have 2 more lines, so we have to get rid of just to make it work better. So let's see how we can do that, right? So apparently we have bigger gaps here on those 2 lines, and we don't have that much over here. Okay, so I'm guessing maybe we get rid of one of the lines here. Okay, and see what we can do inside of this little gap. I think I want that better with that. Maybe a triangle down there. Yeah, and then that's 1. And if I were to just get rid of this line, it should be fine now. Okay, now we have the same. Okay, so I can maybe do this then. Yeah, okay, now we have the penta also created here. Also, if it's possible, you want the penta to be happening on the same loop over here. So that means the penta has to be from this line, right? From this line, right? Okay, and also that line is also the penta. So yeah, you force the issue to happen. We have the penta here. We have the penta here. If you do the connection, you can see this line leads to the same penta, and also this line leads to the penta on the other side. That would make your model feels more uniform, and then you just fix what's happening in the middle. Okay. All right. See, yeah. And that you can see that this is gonna be here. This line will be here with or without that triangle, because this is not a flat surface, right? It's gonna be 2 triangles. So you add this line here to tell it how you want it to be, right? That's probably better. Okay, and you're not painting more weighting either, right? Because you're still painting those 4 points. Okay, all right. So let's see again. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still have to get rid of the 1 line here. I think that's gonna be this line. Okay, and see if I can just shift the problem over. Okay. So yeah, I think I need that. I want that also. Okay, but maybe that's how it ends. And here I need that little turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about I don't have it to be here. Just only have that. Okay, and just ends up with a triangle. Yeah. Okay. So you can still see that our loops are primarily all going this horizontal and vertical directions. This triangle does not hurt too much because we don't bend it this way across this direction. Right? We're bending across this direction, right? And adding a triangle here doesn't really make it harder to bend the weighting for that. So that's why it's fine. Okay. Again, we added triangles. Adding those triangles helps us to simplify our model. And when we reach to some empty areas, we will have lesser polygon, right? And we have next transition, and we use those triangles to help us to represent the shapes. Okay. And let's take a look at what we have here, right? We can do a soften edge. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and keep on going. Quadro 2 here. And for the rest of the shows, it should be very easy. The puts should be very easy, right? So we just need to keep on going, extend to the very front. And I'm gonna loop around this guy to connect to the other side. I'll do the same thing here. Now that becomes the question of how to fill in the middle, right? And that's always going to be able to resolve because we can add new lines in the middle if they doesn't really help. And also you can see those lines are inside. So let me grab all these guys and try to drag them out. Quadro 2. Now I keep deleting histories down the way in the middle. I think I need just one more segment over here. Because that's going to enhance the performance when you're doing the Quadro 2. Alright, so keep on going. Have this guy also loop around. And it's just a matter of filling those three in, and we're done with the front. And all that left is for us to do the bottom, the base piece down there, right? So let me do that real quick. Just need to go down. And again, all those little bevels can be represented by normal map because they are not that big of a deal, right? They're just something down there that's a smaller bump. It doesn't again contribute to the bigger to the bigger contour, so that's why we don't worry about them. Okay. Again, this guy is on the bottom, so I need to drag it out before I can connect it to anything. Quadro 2 again. So if this is boring, I agree with you. It is really boring, but it is something we have to do to get there, right? To just think about the final result you can get, right? That's your motivation. Also, one more thing about topology is that every time when I do topology, it's going to be different. I have some new ideas sometimes, and and after rigging this, that gives me more insight on what it should be, actually. So that helps me to have a better understanding of what actually can work better. Okay, so you do some more rigging can help you to understand, like, okay, if I do it this way, when I'm rigging, I'm gonna deal with this problem. If I do it in another way, I don't have this problem, right? That's when you know how to do the topology, right? Topology is not something that's just, you know, based on your personal like habit or whatever. It just have to be connected to all other parts, and it's something that needs improving and needs a lot of experience to be good at. Okay, and also that also will be based on the rigger's rigging style, right? Okay, cool. So we have these guys now. And for the base, we just need to fill it in, right? So I'm gonna do it this way because I know they're all on the bottom more or less. So I just need to fill in the base. So let me isolate this guy and do like a fill hole to fill this, and then I can do like a multi-cut to connect that with that, and then that with that, and then that with that, and that with that. Okay, cool. And then just need to connect the base, the lines on the bottom, from left to right. Again, we have spent the time to make sure that we have the same pentavertex for the same line going this way and that way. That guarantees that you have the same poly count when you're filling in, right? So we're not just doing that for like aesthetic, right? That's for the ease of retopologizing for future stages, right? Okay. I don't want that guy to be, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it there. Okay, quadra 2. And also the same poly count guarantees the bottom to be very easy to retopologize over here also, right? Although I don't have a different poly count, the base have only like that, and I have 2 going down, no problem, just have a little triangle here. Alright, cool. Because the bottom area doesn't have detail, right? Or we baked all those details, so we don't really want it to spend a lot of, you know, modeling there. I mean, a lot of polygon there to represent it. Alright, cool. So this is gonna be the entire topology for this show. As you can see, we still keep it a simple piece, right? We try to make things simple. We can further simplify it if we wanted to, but I think this is good enough, right? I think things we could do is like maybe delete that line because it's not really doing a lot of change here, and maybe that line, right? You know, yeah, but you know, I think for the others, like this ankle part, maybe that's good because we need to bend this part. Yeah, and that's those 2 lines we just deleted. I think those are fine. I don't really need those. Okay, cool. So we have the shows and we have the other guys. Let me show them all, and let's add the harass, turn off the snapping. Okay, now this is gonna be our model, right? So let's move on to the next stage. I'm gonna do the UV for this part, and then we talk about how we organize our UV. Okay, see you next time.